It was freezing that night in Chicago. The wind cut through Liam's thin hoodie like knives, but he barely noticed. His shift at the warehouse had just ended, and like every evening, he waited at the bus stop alone. That's when he saw her. A woman in business heels and a soaked blazer, curled up on the bench, visibly shivering. She looked completely out of place in this part of the city. Without thinking twice, Liam took off his only jacket, worn and a little torn, and gently placed it around her shoulders. "You need this more than I do," he said with a small smile. She looked up, startled. Her eyes were tired, guarded, but they softened for a second. She didn't even thank him, just nodded silently. The bus came. She didn't get on. He did. Liam thought nothing more of it. He had done his good deed, and tomorrow he'd be back lifting boxes for minimum wage. What he didn't know was that the woman he just helped was watching him closely. And she would soon change his life in ways he never imagined. The next morning, Evelyn Hawthorne stepped into her glass-walled office on the 41st floor of Hawthorne Industries. No one in the building would have guessed she'd spent the night freezing at a bus stop. She'd had a fight with the board, left in frustration, and chose to walk, alone, without her car, without her driver. She wanted to feel real life again. And that night she did. She couldn't forget the young man who gave her his jacket without hesitation. No flirtation, no agenda, just kindness. She'd built an empire studying people, their intentions, their selfishness. But this man, he didn't even ask for her name. She zoomed in on the security photo from a nearby traffic cam. There he was, face tilted down, blurry but unmistakable. She dialed her assistant. "I want to know who he is, where he works, everything, today." Meanwhile, Liam was unloading crates at the warehouse, jacketless in the cold. He hadn't even told anyone what happened. Just another act of kindness, he thought. But as his name showed up on a corporate database across the city, the wheels of fate had already begun to turn. Liam's day went on like any other. He clocked in at 7 a.m., unloaded boxes, swept the storage area, and kept his head down. He didn't know someone had tracked him through city surveillance, called 3 warehouses, and confirmed his name and shift schedule. He was just trying to get through another shift without freezing. His jacket still hadn't dried from the night before. Across the city, Evelyn sat silently in her chauffeured car outside the warehouse. She watched him through the glass loading bay, sleeves rolled up, hair damp with sweat, moving crates twice his size. Her assistant raised an eyebrow. "You sure this is the guy?" She didn't answer. Instead, she stepped out, heels crunching against the gravel. The warehouse manager looked up in shock as Evelyn walked straight toward him, her tailored coat billowing behind her like a cape. "Excuse me," she said, calm and assertive. "I'm here to speak with Liam Carter." Liam turned when he heard his name. The last person he expected to see was the woman from the bus stop, dry, confident, and glowing like she didn't belong in his world. "Hey," she said with a smile. "Do you always give away your jacket to strangers?" Liam blinked, not sure if he was hallucinating. You're okay?" he asked. "From the other night?" Evelyn smiled. "Thanks to you." She paused. "I never got your name." Liam Carter. Well, Liam Carter." She took a business card from her coat and handed it to him. "I'd like you to come in for an interview tomorrow, 10 a.m. Liam looked down at the glossy card. Evelyn Hawthorne, CEO, Hawthorne Industries. His fingers trembled. "I don't understand. Why me?" Evelyn's eyes softened. "Because good people are hard to find, and you didn't hesitate to help a stranger. That tells me more about your character than any resume ever could." His manager stood frozen nearby, jaw half open. Evelyn turned briefly. "He'll get the day off tomorrow." Then back to Liam. "Wear whatever you have. Just show up." With that, she turned and left, just as swiftly as she'd appeared. Liam stood frozen, still holding the card. The guys from the warehouse gathered around. "Bro, what did you do to get the CEO of a billion-dollar company to pull up on you?" Liam could only shake his head. "I gave her my jacket." The next morning, Liam stood outside the towering glass building of Hawthorne Industries, holding his breath. He'd polished his boots, combed his hair, and wore the cleanest shirt he had. Still faded but tucked in neatly. People in suits rushed past, barely glancing at him. He felt invisible, like a mistake. Inside, the marble lobby gleamed like a palace. He stepped toward the front desk, where a receptionist glanced at his worn shoes, then back up. "Name?" she asked curtly. "Liam Carter. I have an interview with Evelyn Hawthorne." She blinked. "Ms. Hawthorne?" She tapped something on her headset, surprised. To Liam's shock, she stood up. "This way, sir." As they reached the elevator, two suited men stepped out and froze. "He's the Liam?" one whispered. Liam's confusion grew. Something strange was going on. Upstairs, Evelyn waited in her corner office. Floor-to-ceiling windows glowed with golden morning light. When Liam entered, she smiled like she'd been waiting for a friend. "You came," she said softly. "I said I would," Liam replied. "But I still don't understand why I'm here." Evelyn gestured to the seat across from her. "Then let me show you." Evelyn folded her hands on the table. "I didn't bring you here to test you. I brought you here to thank you and offer you something real." Liam sat cautiously, eyes flicking around the luxurious office. Soft leather chairs, an abstract painting behind her, everything spotless. "But I'm not qualified. I fix shelves and move boxes." Evelyn smiled gently. "When I was 19, I slept in a car behind a warehouse. I know what it means to feel invisible." She paused. "Someone gave me a chance once, so now I'm giving one to you." Liam blinked. "Doing what?" "I created a new position just for you. Personal logistics coordinator." He raised a brow. "What does that even mean?" "You'll shadow my top operations manager. Learn how this place runs from the inside. You'll be paid full salary from day one." Liam leaned forward, stunned. "You don't even know me." "I know what you did," she said, eyes steady. "You gave without expecting anything back. That's rare, and it's exactly the kind of heart I want on my team." He sat in silence, processing it all. His entire life shifting because of one cold night and one borrowed jacket. Liam's first day wasn't smooth. When he stepped into the operations department, heads turned. The team was sharp. Press suits, coffee in hand, Ivy League degrees, and then Liam. In his old boots and second-hand button-up. Someone chuckled under their breath. "Is he the janitor?" one whispered. "Personal what? Evelyn must be losing it." But Liam stayed quiet, watched, listened. He followed Jordan, the operations manager, a stiff, no-nonsense man who clearly didn't want a shadow. "Keep up, kid, and stay out of my way," he barked. By lunch, Liam had memorized the warehouse map, noted 3 safety risks no one else mentioned, and fixed a jammed delivery terminal. At 3 p.m., a shipment went missing. Panic spread. Jordan snapped, "Someone screwed up the routing." Liam stepped forward. "It's not lost. The GPS shows it rerouted for fuel at a nearby station. If you wait 20 minutes, it'll be back on track." Everyone stared. Jordan checked. Liam was right. No one laughed after that. That evening, as he packed up, a voice called from behind. "You weren't just being kind that night at the bus stop, were you?" Evelyn asked, leaning against the door. Liam smiled faintly. Maybe kindness is just who I am. The next morning, Liam found a note slipped under his workstation keyboard. "Meet me on the rooftop at 6 p.m. Evelyn." He spent the day working hard, checking inventory logs and learning the software dashboards. But his mind kept circling the note. Why the rooftop? At exactly 6, he climbed the narrow stairs to the company rooftop. The sky blushed orange with sunset. Evelyn stood there alone, arms folded, her coat catching the breeze. "You came," she said. "I almost didn't," Liam admitted. "Thought maybe I was dreaming this whole thing." "You're not." She stepped closer. "But before I take this any further, I need the truth." Liam's breath hitched. "I had someone look into your background," Evelyn continued softly. "No criminal record. But you stopped going to college after your mom passed, and your dad left long before that." He nodded slowly. "I had to survive. No one was going to save me." She looked at him, really looked. "That's why I'm offering to mentor you myself, but only if you're ready to rebuild from the ground up, not just your career, your life." Liam swallowed hard. "I'm ready." Evelyn extended her hand. "Then let's begin." By Monday, Liam had a desk with his name on it. Not in the warehouse, on the executive floor. It felt unreal. Glass walls, marble floors. People in blazers walked with purpose. Coffee in one hand, Bluetooth in the other. Liam felt like a fish out of water. But Evelyn walked beside him, and no one dared question her decision. "This is your workstation," she said, stopping at a desk near her corner office. "You'll shadow me personally. Emails, scheduling, mergers, everything." He nodded, trying to hide how overwhelmed he felt. But as she handed him a sleek company laptop, she added, "There's something you should know." Liam looked up. "Not everyone up here wants you to succeed," Evelyn said, voice low. "Some think you don't belong, and one in particular would do anything to see you fail." "Why keep me here then?" Liam asked. "Because people like you," she replied, "shake things up. You're honest, raw, and this company needs that more than another polished resume." He took a breath, sat at the desk, and opened the laptop. No more windshield cleaning, no more surviving. Now, he had to prove he deserved this shot. By midweek, Liam was juggling Evelyn's calendar, taking notes during high-stakes meetings, and staying late to study old contracts. It was exhausting, but thrilling. Then came the real test. Evelyn had a crucial presentation the next morning. She trusted Liam to finalize the deck. That night, as he reviewed the files, he noticed something odd. A subtle error in the numbers. Just a few digits off, but big enough to cause problems. He double-checked everything. The mistake had been planted. His gut twisted. Was this the sabotage Evelyn warned him about? He stayed until 1 a.m. fixing it, printing fresh copies, and leaving a quiet note on Evelyn's desk. Fixed a small error in slide 12. "You're good to go, Liam." The next morning, Evelyn stepped out of the boardroom, eyes wide. "You saved that meeting," she said. "If those numbers had stayed, we'd have lost the deal." Liam nodded. "Someone set me up. I don't know who yet." She smiled, but there was steel behind it. "I do." Liam's breath caught. "Get ready," Evelyn said, "because now it's war." Evelyn closed the door to her office behind them. The silence inside was thick. "The one who planted that error," she said slowly, "was Marcus Lang." Liam blinked. Your VP. He's been eyeing my position for years, thinks this company should be run by people who belong. She paused. And in his eyes, you don't. Liam swallowed hard. So this was a test? No, she said. It was a trap, one you avoided. She opened a file on her desk, a stack of reports, emails, flagged spreadsheets. He's been sloppy, greedy, and I've been gathering proof. Liam stared at the file. You want me to help bring him down? Evelyn nodded. If you're willing. He paused. This wasn't just about a job anymore. It was about standing up, for himself, for everyone like him who'd been counted out. I'm in, Liam said. She smiled proud and fierce. Good. Then suit up, because Marcus doesn't play fair. Outside the office, Marcus watched from the glass wall, expression unreadable. But Liam didn't flinch, because now he knew the game. And this time, he wouldn't back down. The next morning, Evelyn walked into the senior board meeting with Liam right behind her. Every executive turned, surprised. Marcus sat at the head of the table, smug. This meeting is for partners only, he said sharply. Evelyn didn't blink. He's with me. Liam took a seat beside her, hands steady but heart pounding. Evelyn clicked the remote. Before we begin, she said, my assistant discovered something disturbing. The projector lit up. Slides of altered numbers, email chains, financials with Marcus's digital signature. Gasps filled the room. Liam stood. I was asked to prepare Evelyn's deck, he began, but someone inserted false figures that could have cost this company millions. I traced it back, and it wasn't an accident. Marcus' face tightened. This is absurd. No, Evelyn cut in. It's evidence. Marcus slammed his folder shut. You'll regret this. But the damage was done. The room turned cold. Liam sat back down, chest rising with relief. He had just spoken truth to power, and won. After the meeting, Evelyn leaned in. You've got guts, Liam, the kind I need more of around here. Outside, Marcus stormed down the hall, but inside that room, everything had changed. Later that week, Liam's landlord called, panicked. Your rent's been flagged. Says your payment bounced. You haven't paid in 3 months? Liam's stomach dropped. What? That's not true. At the same time, his email blew up with HR messages. Someone had submitted a complaint against him. False accusations, fabricated reviews, even a fake report that he'd leaked company files. He knew who was behind it. Marcus wasn't going down without a fight. At the office, Evelyn slammed the latest report on her desk. He's trying to discredit you. Make it look like you're the problem. Liam clenched his jaw. He's using the system against me. Yes, she said, but we won't play scared. Later, Liam sat on the rooftop of the building, wind brushing against his face, city lights below. He thought of the jacket he'd offered Evelyn that night in the cold. He didn't do it for reward, but now he had something worth defending, his integrity, his chance, and maybe something more. From behind him, Evelyn's voice broke the silence. I know this is hard, but I believe in you. Liam turned. Her eyes weren't just professional now, they were personal. He nodded slowly. Then I won't give up. The next morning, Liam packed his things. He couldn't sleep all night. False complaints, frozen bank account, HR breathing down his neck. He walked past the bus stop where it all began, where he once offered his jacket to a shivering stranger. Except today, someone else was there. The same little girl from that night, alone again, no gloves, hugging her knees. Liam stopped. Where's your mom? She looked up. She went inside for coffee. Liam crouched down, pulled off his scarf. "You cold?" She nodded. He wrapped it gently around her neck. "There you go." Her tiny voice whispered, "You're the man who helped my mom before." She told me, "You're her angel." Liam's heart clenched. The woman that night hadn't just been a stranger, she'd been a mother. And somehow, he had mattered more than he realized. Suddenly, Evelyn's car pulled up. She stepped out, watching the moment from a distance. Their eyes met. No words, just understanding. Later, at the office, Liam walked back in. Not with anger, but with fire. He dropped his resignation letter into the shredder. "I'm not leaving," he said. "Not now. Not ever." After the meeting, the office buzzed. People congratulated Liam. Some apologized. But his heart wasn't settled. Evelyn called him into her private office. She closed the door and smiled gently. "I meant what I said, Liam. You saved me that night. Now let me do something for you." She slid a contract across the desk. "Vice President of Community Partnerships, full benefits, 6-figure salary. You'll help lead our new outreach programs for people like you once were." Liam stared at it. It was everything he'd never dared dream of. But he looked up, hesitating. "I'm grateful," he said. "But before I say yes, can I ask for one thing?" Evelyn nodded. "Anything." He took a deep breath. "There's a shelter near my apartment. The one I stayed in during rough times. They're closing due to lack of funds. Could your company help them?" Silence. Then Evelyn smiled, wider than he'd ever seen. "Liam, not only will we save it, we'll name the new center after the man who reminded us all what kindness looks like." His eyes filled. In that moment, Liam didn't feel poor, or pitied, or small. He felt seen, heard, respected, and for the first time, powerful. After the meeting, the office buzzed. People congratulated Liam, some apologized. But his heart wasn't settled. Evelyn called him into her private office. She closed the door and smiled gently. "I meant what I said, Liam. You saved me that night. Now let me do something for you." She slid a contract across the desk. "Vice President of Community Partnerships, full benefits, 6-figure salary. You'll help lead our new outreach programs for people like you once were." Liam stared at it. It was everything he'd never dared dream of, but he looked up, hesitating. "I'm grateful," he said. "But before I say yes, can I ask for one thing?" Evelyn nodded. "Anything." He took a deep breath. "There's a shelter near my apartment, the one I stayed in during rough times. They're closing due to lack of funds. Could your company help them?" Silence. Then Evelyn smiled, wider than he'd ever seen. "Liam, not only will we save it, we'll name the new center after the man who reminded us all what kindness looks like." His eyes filled. In that moment, Liam didn't feel poor, or pitied, or small. He felt seen, heard, respected, and for the first time, powerful. 3 months later, a banner flapped in the breeze. The Liam Carter Community Center for New Beginnings. Crowds gathered, news cameras rolled, children from the neighborhood held flowers. The old shelter had transformed into a bright, modern building, warm, welcoming, full of life. Liam stood in front, wearing a navy blazer someone had gifted him. He still wasn't used to suits. Evelyn stood beside him, proud. She whispered, "You ready?" He nodded, holding scissors in his trembling hands. "More than ever." As the ribbon was cut, applause erupted. But Liam's eyes scanned the crowd, not for fame or cameras, but for a younger version of himself. Cold, alone, hopeless. He saw a little boy clapping in the front row, skinny and hand-me-downs. Their eyes met. The boy smiled wide, And in that single moment, Liam saw his purpose, not to rise and forget, but to rise and reach back. After the ceremony, Liam spoke at the podium. "I once gave away the only warm thing I had, a jacket. I thought I lost something, but I gained a future, and today, I just want to pass that warmth forward." No one left with dry eyes. That evening, Liam returned to the very bus stop where it all began. Same bench, same flickering streetlight, but everything felt different. He sat down quietly, jacket collar up, not because he was cold, but because the memory still lived here. From a distance, someone approached, shivering. Without hesitation, Liam stood up and took off his jacket. "Here," he said, gently wrapping it around the stranger's shoulders. The man blinked, stunned. "Why would you?" Liam smiled softly. "Because once someone saw me when no one else did." Before walking away, he glanced up at the security camera fixed on the pole above. He smiled. This time he knew the world would be watching. And hopefully someone else would be inspired to act. Back at home, his wall had no trophies, just photos. Of the shelter, of kids smiling, of Evelyn and her team volunteering, and one worn folded note she had given him months ago. It read, "Kindness costs nothing, but it can make someone rich forever." Liam had no idea where life would take him next, but one thing was certain. He would never stop giving jackets.